I guess I will go. I'll go third.
Okay. Rich, where do you want to do?
That would have been my pick as well. I'll go second.
All right, I got to lead off. Yeah, now, leading off is tough.
Yeah, that's
because you think about it, like the guys in the secondary, if you have guys who are going to play, they're going to play the most, but there's a lot of like injury risk there. C.J. Gardner-Johnson hasn't stayed healthy in 3 seasons. Reed Blankenship has an injury history. Darius Slay is 34. And that's why I'm going off the board here. I'm taking my number 1 pick. I'm going Quinyon Mitchell.
Wow.
I'm going with the rookie. Vic Fangio said the other day he's ready to play every snap. I think if he stays healthy, he's going to be on the field. I'm going Quinyon.
He was in my top tier. I will say that.
I had him second, so I think that's a good pick. I understand it. After what Vic said yesterday, you don't know where he's going to play, but I think he's going to play, and obviously the injury element of this too, because we're looking at a couple things here, right? Like playing time, performance, obviously,
and durability is maybe the biggest one,
and then position. Yeah, that's the other one with injuries and stuff. Okay, so Quinyon Mitchell was number 2, so I'm going to take my number 1 pick.
Okay,
feels probably not as good of a player as Quinyon Mitchell. I am going to take Reed Blankenship.
Okay.
Who was
reasonable.
He was in my top tier as well.
Second last year. By the way, I would not have been able to tell you offhand that James Bradbury led the defense in snaps.
Almost 92% of the snaps.
By it really wasn't that close.
I think Slay was second, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I have that wrong, but I was looking it up prior to the show.
So I think it was Bradbury, Blankenship, Slay, something like that.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I remember in the offseason, I forget what the program is where the NFL gives money to kind of players on rookie contracts that play play a lot. I think Reed Blankenship got the second biggest payout in the entire league last year with that. So I think, look, it's not perfect. Like, he could get injured. Performance, maybe I'm a little bit worried about because they do have some other options back there at safety, but I'm going to go with Reed second.
All right, you guys I had 3 guys in my top tier, first round picks. You guys took 2 of the 3.
Okay. How did your draft go last night, by the way?
I think pretty great.
Okay.
I got graded an A+, and Yahoo said I'm going to win the league.
Oh, nice.
So I'll take that.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Big night in the house. So I'm going to save my pick for the first round because I get the snake, so I mentally feel better about him being a second round
for keepers
pick.
for next year.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with the baby Rhino.
Nice.
I'm going to take Jalen Carter
because
here in the first. He was not in my top tier. He was actually the first of my second tier. But a little reverse psychology on myself. Now I get Darius Slay in the second round. I feel better about taking the old cornerback there.
You just like the value.
It's good value in the second round.
Well, the Carter thing is the big question here.
Sure.
And I think I would have had him as my second pick just because he's going to play.
They need him.
And if you look at the Dolphins snaps last year, Christian Wilkins played the 3rd most snaps of anybody on that defense.
I didn't even go that deep.
They had some injuries on the outside. But this is our expectation that Vic Fangio wants to really push the needle on how often those defensive linemen are on the field. All of the emphasis has been for Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis on increasing their level of fitness. I did the poll story of asking everybody on the team who's going to have a big season this year. And Devontae Smith, who is usually a very reliable narrator.
It's a great piece, by the way. Everyone should read that.
He said Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis because of their fitness, because of them seeming like they're going to be ready to play all these snaps. And so Jalen Carter, who I think has a chance to have a breakout season and compete for Defensive Player of the Year potentially, I think he's going to be on the field.
The thing that really got me kind of horned up about it was watching Mailata and Lane Johnson on Chris Long's podcast. And they're when you see somebody that is talking about a mutual, and there's just kind of this glow and holy bleep, this guy has it, and they all just were raving about Jalen Carter. So I think he's going to be on the field more than maybe I expected. So, and then I'll take Slay second. So I'm happy with that snake.
Do we think it's a little weird that Sean Desai basically ran these guys into the ground last year? And look, Matty Pencil's the worst defensive coordinator I've ever seen in my life. He did not have a very fresh defensive line he was working with at that point. And then they go, all right, we're going to take the guy who just believes. Just get out there.
Did you see Matty P, by the way?
I did.
He's hosting the show with
cameo on the Belichick show on the Underdog Network. Very funny.
There was a jump cut, too, because
it was a
on
surprise.
Belichick for the first 5 minutes.
And Belichick, it is so funny that he's still demanding to take his fail-son staff with him wherever he goes in media.
Yeah.
Come on.
From defensive coordinator to underdog fantasy. There you go. Okay. Next one. So I had one more player. I do not feel great about this because of injury. I feel as long as he is healthy, he's going to play every snap. He's
I'm right there with
a phenomenal player. I think he's going to bring an element of toughness and just he's an irritant to other teams. So I'm talking about C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So the counterpoint and why I'm a little bit scared, because the secondary guys play the most, is that he has played in 15 regular season games the last 2 years. It's not a lot. So.
Yeah, I had him in my second tier as well. I think it's a good pick, but it's just dependent on health.
Yeah, like if you ask me which player would I bet on to play 100% of the snaps this week, it would be C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. He's going to be on the field as long as he is healthy for every snap, but he has to prove that he can stay healthy. And it's, it's one of those things where he would say that they've all been fluky. It's not like there's something about his body, but this is a player who invites contact and sort of invites that flukiness because of the way that he uses his body, which is what makes him such a good player. So, I think you're right. Now that was like the top 5 tier for me. So now it's
we were all simpatico there.
Yeah, you guys, we got that exactly as a little bit different, but those 5 for sure. So now I gotta just go with. Like I could take an upside swing, but I'm gonna stick with at the turn here. I'm gonna take the 2 edge rushers and get the snaps that they're gonna play. I'm gonna say Bryce Huff and Josh Sweat. Those are gonna be my 2 little picks.
It's a nice little 1-2 combo piece.
I could go the nickel. We don't know if there's gonna be a full-time nickel. Is Keely Ringo or Isaiah Rodgers gonna be on the outside? I know that Bryce Huff and Josh Sweat. I'm going for floor here, so I'm gonna take those 2 guys.
I like that. So I'm either going to come in first or I'm going to come in last year. Because
really, what are the stakes?
What are the stakes? We're probably not, Dana's just not even going to bother to keep track of this one. So it doesn't matter. So I'm going to take Nakobe Dean next.
I was considering
and look, his injury history, he has the 2 question marks where we don't know if he's good and we don't know if he's going to stay healthy.
Sure.
But, I think if, he gets into a groove here, the top linebacker plays all the snaps. So I will take that, and he will play either 80% of the snaps or 20% of the snaps, whatever.
Right. All right, big snake coming my way here. Got to watch where I say that. I'm going to go – this is tough. I think I'm going to go with Keely Ringo.
Wow. Okay.
A little bit, of an upside
That's an upside swing.
Yeah, an upside swing there. And I think I'm going to go Milton Williams.
Okay.
I think he's going to steal a job at some point this year.
Yeah, there's a real chance, I think, that he ends up playing more snaps.
And he seems durable, so I feel confident that health-wise he'll be there. It's just can he prove it? And look, is he in a contract year?
He is.
There's a lot to play for. So, I don't love those 2 picks, but I feel okay about them.
I like that. You've got Carter, Slay, Ringo, Milton. I think we can go all 6 rounds here. I think we can get to 18 guys who have a reasonable shot to be a part of this defense. Go ahead, Rich.
All right, I will take a higher floor player. There's another one that I was looking at that I thought, could be another 80-20 guy. We'll see. I'm going to take Jordan Davis next.
He was who I was considering.
Yeah, he's he's not going to play as much as Jalen Carter.
Sure.
I'm sure they don't want him completely gassed, but he's also far and away the best player that they have at a starting position. So go with him. Hope he gets up to 50-ish%, and we'll take that and move on.
Okay. At this point, I feel like I have to take the upside swing on Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, he was the guy I was thinking of.
I think there's a chance come week 3 that he becomes a close to full-time player. So I'm going to take Cooper DeJean, and then I'm on the fence here. I could go linebacker. I could go Nolan Smith. I could make a case for Avonte Maddox or Isaiah Rodgers. Do I believe in the Zach Bond thing? I'm going to go.
It's tough.
I feel like I crossed out someone I wasn't supposed to cross out.
I feel like I did that too.
I'm going to go.
We'll let you know.
I'm going bold.
Oh, bold and beautiful.
I know where he's going.
I'm taking Trot Jr.
Yep.
It's been what I expect to happen all season long, all off season long. By mid-season, he becomes a close to full-time player. I'm gonna go and bet on Trot Jr.
It's a good pick. You put him on the table. I respect it.
All right. Well, since I have the two safeties, I think you could make an argument that Avonte Maddox, he could be the nickel in a couple days. He could provide some versatility at safety. But since I have the two safeties, I don't want to root for that. I want those guys to play the entire year.
Yeah.
So I am going to take Zach Bond. We'll see how that goes. Maybe
that's the right pick.
Hey, and look, maybe it's a thing where I get most of the snaps in the first half of the year. Bo gets most of the snaps in the second half of the year when Trot Jr. proves that he is the better player at that point. But Zach, just give me September. That's all.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get past me. I was hoping kind of Bond would fall to me there a little bit. But I will take Nolan Smith.
Okay.
I think dude's got a massive opportunity to get some big playing time if he shows up early. So I'll take the gamble there, and then on the way back,
pick Jalen Carter, Darius Slay, Keely Ringo, Milton Williams.
No, Ringo's off the board.
And those are my
pick. Part of me wants to say Devin White just because.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Like it could be so bad that he's forced into play, but I don't know. Like,
I mean, if we had done this draft yesterday, he would have been like the second guy taken.
Yeah, he would have been high.
Isaiah Rodgers, I just think cornerback's so competitive. I don't know if you can wiggle in there as much. I'm going to no, because if I go Ojimo, that means that Jordan Davis is a massive failure.
Or he's taking Milton snaps, potentially.
Yeah, I will.
Go Brandon Graham.
Yeah, I don't think BG's going to be playing much. I'll do it. I'll take Devin White as a risky,
fair bet.
Late round pick.
High upside. All right, Rich, you have Reed Blankenship, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, Zach Bond.
Well, there's a few options here. No Isaiah Rodgers yet. All right.
No Isaiah Rodgers.
He's on the board.
Sidney Brown yet.
No Sidney Brown. Avonte Maddox.
What's he missing? At least four?
At least four.
And
Jalix Hunt. Oren Burks, if you want to bet on it. Brandon Graham.
That's possible. I'll take Moro Ojimo.
I had Ojimo in my second.
You're going my third tier. Low floor.
Yeah, low floor.
Yeah, that's good. Or high floor, rather.
And low ceiling.
Okay.
I didn't trust my board there. I had Ojimo ahead of Devin White.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to close it out. I do think there's a chance that Avonte is going to make us all look dumb here.
Yeah.
And could be the nickel this week and just hold that job. There's a chance Isaiah Rodgers makes us look dumb and, is a full-time starter on the outside. BG, Jalix Hunt involved. But I'm going to go against your safety tandem, and I am going to take Sidney Brown. I think there's a chance that second half of the season he's a full-time starting player on the defense. So I'm going to take Sidney Brown to join my group of Quinyon Mitchell, Bryce Huff, Josh Sweat, Cooper DeJean, Jeremiah Trotter, and now Sidney Brown.
We all silly like the mayor.